Hello, just a quick thing. I just got a new microphone for my camera because I didn't have a microphone before, and I turned the microphone up too loud, so the audio in this video is a bit rubbish, but I'm sorry, maybe don't listen to it at too high of a volume.
Hello, underachievers. So today's video is about I'm getting rats. Do you like rats? Comment yes or no, because if you comment no, your account will be deleted. So how does it come that I'm getting rats? Well, recently, it was me and Corey's 1 year together thing. We don't know the exact date of how long we've been dating, so we just chose a date in August. That was the day of our first date. And Corey's gift to me is that he's getting me rats. I have been speaking about rats for a long time. I really like rats. I really want rats. I follow lots of rat accounts. I look at lots of rats online. I enjoy rat videos and rat photos and everything rat. But yeah, Corey said he's getting me rats, so we're getting rats. So I have had rats before. I had some when I was 10, and now that I've researched lots about rats, I realised I probably wasn't looking after them as well as I should be. So this time I'm getting rats. They're going to have the best life ever, and they will be good rats, always, for the best. I'm in a weird mood, so I will talk you guys through my pet history. So when I was about 4, we got a family dog called Stella. She was a boxer dog. She is the best dog known to man. She was called Stella Bella Booba, and she was perfect. She was a dumbass. She was stupid. She ran into bushes with her eyes open and cut up her face, and she was a dumb dog, but she was the best. She also broke her leg the first month we had her, because she's a dumbass. We got her when she was a baby, and she died a few years ago, but she lived a good life, and she was very fit. And then maybe a year after that, we got 2 goldfish called Frederick and Bubbles, and then they died 2 weeks later, so we got more goldfish. Fredericks and Bubbles too. I'm pretty sure they only lasted a week. Please don't blame me. I was like 5. After those goldfish, we actually had hamsters. Well, we had hamster. We called him Harry the hamster. And then 2 days after we got him from the pet store, he had triplets. It was a girl. Female hamster. Triplets. Had babies. Was pregnant. I was very excited about these babies. I actually cried of happiness. And it was a great time. My mum was angry at the pet shop because they gave us a male hamster, but the male hamster had titties and had babies, so they lied to us. So yeah, that was the time. So I pretty much had a transgender hamster. We then changed Harry's name to Harriet, and I kept one of the baby hamsters and called it Harry, because, you know, we had to have a Harry. It was a bit traumatic when I found my hamsters dead, but whatever. We got rats afterwards. They were called Baloo and Nibbles. There was one blue rat and one black and white rat, and they were great. They were wonderful. They were good pets. They were perfect. I love them. And then they died, of course. One disappeared. I'm not sure how he died. I genuinely do not understand how this rat died. It doesn't make any sense, because the cage was closed, and I went to look in their cage and there was only one rat, and I asked my parents, hey, like, did you lie to me? Did the rat die and you moved it? No, I don't know where the hamster went. It just disappeared. Hamster? Rat. After Baloo and Nibbles, my mum got me 2 tortoises. Well, she got me 1 tortoise and then decided she liked tortoises and then got another tortoise, but those 2 tortoises didn't get along, which was a lot of stress. They used to attack each other. So the 2 tortoises were called Noddy and Dino. Noddy was a prick. Noddy was a bully. Those tortoises are still alive, but we gave them to a family friend because we felt like they could look after them better, and they would have had a better time where we sent them down to a family friend who lives in Dorset, and they have a massive garden, and they can walk around the garden and eat all the leaves they want to eat. So that is my pet history. Where are we now? Actually, no. Honorable mention, I had a toad, maybe. A toad, kind of. It wasn't mine. Right. So when I had tortoises, I made a, outdoor arena for them, made out of, planks of wood, and I put bricks in there and fun things for the tortoises to play with. And then one day, I looked inside there, and there was a toad. There was a big toad, and I called him Toadsticle. I'm pretty sure it was a girl. It was a woman toad, but that wasn't a real pet, so we'll ignore that. So that's my my pet history. So what's happening now? So yeah, as I said, I'm getting rats, but what rats am I getting? So surprisingly, there's a lot of different rats you can get. You can get naked ones, you can get Siamese ones, you can get ones with curly hair. So I'm going to explain to you which rats I'm looking for. We haven't found any particular rats. There's maybe some down in Dorset that I've got my eye on that I might want to go visit. So all pet rats are called fancy rats. They're called fancy rats because back in the day, people would usually keep pets for a use, as in they'd keep chickens so they could get eggs. They'd keep other pets so they could eat them, I don't know. But people started looking after rats and having pet rats, and they called them fancy rats because they had a fancy for these rats. They were like hobbies. I probably didn't say that well. So I'm going to get a fancy rat, which is a Dumbo rat. Now, you ask, what is a Dumbo rat? A Dumbo rat is a rat whose ears are bigger than the usual fancy rat who has ears up top, and they have big ears down, further down the side of their head, so they kind of look more like Dumbo the elephant. You know, Dumbo the elephant has got big ears. Here's a comparison. Here's a fancy rat who is top-eared, which is a standard rat, and here's a fancy rat who is Dumbo-eared, who is big ears. So I'm getting Dumbo rats, but there are also different fur types, different hair types. What I want is a Dumbo rat that has Rex hair. Now, standard rats will have standard hair, which is kind of straight, but Rex rats will have kind of like curly hair, and it's fluffier, and they also have curly whiskers, which I find adorable. I'm not really sure which color rat I want. I really like blue rats that are kind of bluish, but I also like white rats that have like other colors on them, so we'll see. This is a picture of my ideal rat, and here's a few pictures of the rats I'm looking at right now. So when am I getting these rats? The answer is, I don't know, okay? So here's the thing. You can either get pet rats from a pet shop or from a breeder. Now, you should not get a rat from a pet shop. This is bad. There are a few reasons why you shouldn't get rats from a pet shop. One is that they don't usually handle them that much, so when you get to selling them, they're not really that used to humans, and they're not as cuddly and friendly as maybe you'd like. A big reason not to get rats from a pet shop is because they're usually kept in aquariums, like in tanks, which is really bad because rats have really sensitive respiratory systems, and if you're kept in an aquarium, there's not much airflow, and they usually get like respiratory big words, respiratory infections. And also, when they piss, their piss has ammonia in it. It's harder to get the ammonia out, and if there's not much airspace inside there, the ammonia will be everywhere inside the tank, and the rat will get ill. So even if you don't get your rat in a pet shop, don't put a rat in an aquarium or a glass tank. It's terrible. So why is that relevant? I'm getting rats from a breeder. I'm getting 2 or 3 rats, by the way, because you can't just keep one rat because they are lonely if they're alone, and they can literally die from depression because they are lonely. So if you're ever getting just one rat, just don't, or just get 2 rats. So I'm getting a few rats from a breeder, and that's why I don't know when I'm getting the rats, because obviously rat ads pop up every day, and I need to figure out which ones I'm getting, and where I'm getting them, and when I'm getting them from, and when is what's, and what, lots of W's. So hopefully I'll be getting the rats soon, maybe within like the next month, hopefully, if that's fine. So there's also the choice between male and female rats. No, there are not non-binary rats, and maybe there is, but there isn't. So usually the differences between male and female rats is obviously the genitalia, whatever, bleh. But also male rats tend to be more, you know, like lazy. They're more like lap rats, they're more cuddly, they're more friendly. They get bigger as well. Well, obviously baby rats get bigger, but male rats are usually bigger than female rats. And female rats usually have more energy, they're more jumpy, they run everywhere, they have so much energy. So I'm gonna get 2 or 3 male rats, because I think their balls are massive, which I find really funny. But also, I'm into cuddly rats, so yeah. So that's it. I'm getting 2 or 3 male Rex Dumbo rats somewhere hopefully soon. Also, I have a rat cage. Look, I've set it up. Kind of, actually, not really. What kind of rat cage you get and what you put inside it is very important, because you can't just put rats in a tiny little cage, because they're very adventurous and they'll get bored and they'll get sad. So I'm not showing you the rat cage yet, okay, because it's not completely finished. But I've got a 3-story rat cage. It's got like 2 ramps. It's got 2 other floors. I've got a few hammocks. Got some ropes. Got some chew toys. Got a water bottle. Getting a food bowl and getting another water bottle. I've also ordered rat bedding, and it's like papery recycled paper bedding, which is good. And it's not scented, so the rats won't get irritated by the smell. It's really good. I've also got the rat food. I've covered the wire floors and the wire ramps in cardboard, because if the rats run on wire too much, then they'll get bumblefoot, which is just big blisters on their feet, and they could break their toes, they could get their legs caught in them. So it's not a good idea. I'm also going to cover the cardboard in fleece, and I'm going to wash that every few days. And I'm just going to buy a heck load of stuff to put in there, because rats love it when their cages are crowded. There's more to get for them. The rat cage is not finished, and that's why I'm not showing it to you. But yeah, I am getting rats soon. So that is the video. Yes. If you have any questions about rats or things like that, I will maybe answer them. I'm not an expert, but I will try to be. But yeah, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, whatever. Have a good day. I don't. See you later, losers. Time for punch. There's a punch. Good.